instrumentation, and system equipment components, meaning, how they connect together. Where does this sensor get applied? Where does this pipe run? Those sorts of things. So it's going to show process piping and process flows together, install equipment and instrumentation. There are also things called process flow diagrams, which are basically simplified or dumbed down P&IDs. Some of these P&IDs can get pretty busy. And here is an example of a small and simplified P&ID. So first of all, what are these boxes with the pointy ends on? Anybody have an idea?
Call out for another diagram that exists.
Yeah, so it's an off-page connector. Some of these things, process plant can be huge, have like hundreds of process loops. There's no way you can fit everything on one gigantic sheet of paper. So, it's multi-sheets, and then we show where it's coming from, where it's going to. So there's some verbiage that goes in to tie those together. So we have some symbols. There's a valve of one type, above it is a different type of valve. We got a flow transmitter here, flow transmitter up there, there's a mixer, a sampling port, and so forth. Okay? This is just one example. So as I mentioned, there are a bunch of disciplines that use P&IDs. We obviously have the design engineering folks who are putting this all together to begin with, but they're not the only users of it. But folks that are going to be constructing the plants, maintaining the plants, and so forth, they use these diagrams. And they're sort of like a top level diagram. There might be more specific detailed diagrams that show precisely, in a three-dimensional view of the building where exactly that pipe runs. That sort of information is not contained on a P&ID. Right. Did anybody in here lay out a circuit board? Printed circuit board before? So the schematic is like the road map. Right? It shows all the components, it shows how they're connected together. It doesn't represent how exactly they get connected together on the circuit board, but it is the roadmap that drives it. P&ID is the same sort of thing. So, as there are with a lot of standards, there are two primary ones. In the United States, there's an ANSI/ISA 5.1, that's 2009, instrumentation symbols and identification. So ANSI, anybody know what that stands for?
American National Standards for Instrumentation?
Institute.
Institute.
ANSI in the U.S. is kind of like an umbrella standards organization that they sort of represent us in ISO and whatnot, but there's a lot of standards that kind of fall under them. So ISA, which used to be Instrument Society of America, now it's just ISA. They deal with a lot of process and stuff. So it's their standard that is blessed by ANSI, therefore it's an ANSI-ISA standard. ISO. You've heard of ISO, right? You know what that stands for?
International Standards Organization.
No. Actually, it is the International Organization for Standardization. It's a French thing, okay? It's known as ISO. ISO mean the same, but you would think, it should follow that order, but it doesn't.